Welcome, boys. The Brest men could not handle us today. Somebody check on Rabona TV. We've done it. Hansi Flick, well done. You found a way to make the boys play without Lamine Yamal. They looked really good. The other team didn't, and we're going to get into it today. Overall, I'm really happy with how the guys played. I don't think there was a standout worst player, or there was just a very overall good performance from this entire side. In a time where it's been difficult for us, we haven't been great in the past two matches. They've found it difficult to not only get into games, but to find a consistent amount of form or to just maintain a lead at all. Thankfully, they figured it out today, and they played really, really well. I think this 3-0 could have been much more than that. They turned it on a little bit at the end, but I just think overall this entire game was very well controlled. Brest had 2 shots on goal the entire time. So we're going to get into the ratings today as well and talk about some of the surprising outcomes from some of these players that I really would have never guessed would have happened. Starting off with Peña, as always, I thought he had a good game. 7. He came out of his box a couple times to intercept the ball. Most of the times it was offside. He conceded an offside goal, but it was offside, so it doesn't matter. Well done. Did his job over and over again, is decent with his distribution. I think he's really found an ability. He's found a good spot where he can pretty easily pick out the further forward attackers, sometimes Lewandowski dropping in, or the wingers in a state that really helps us get out of pressure. And it works out. I'm really happy with the way he's developed. And I'm okay with him being our first choice keeper right now. I genuinely am okay with that. Maybe it's the threat of having Chesney there. Maybe he's just a better fit under Hansi. Maybe because he's faster. Next, Koundé. I think Koundé had a decent game. Yeah, I think he played well. He defended. He did his job. He held his defender. Was decent in possession. Was pretty forward a lot of the time. Didn't really create anything fantastic. Overall, fine game as well. 7. I thought Kuwari was all over the pitch today. I think he was my MVP at the back line too, though. He was all over the place, constantly shutting down attacks. Really good on the ball. I'll give him an 8. Inigo, similar story, but I'll give him a 7.5 just because I think Kuwari was all over the place today. You could pretty much say that about both of them. It's hard to kind of pick which one was better. They both always stand out to me, but today I think Kuwari was just all over the place. So I'll give him the 8, Inigo the 7.5, and that leaves us with a fan favorite, Gerard Martin, who, going into the match on Twitter, was hated by everyone. No one was sure why he was on the pitch, why he was there, why Hansi Flick chose to bring him in yet again, even though Hector Fort played so well in the last match. Well, today we saw why. The first half he was mid, he was fine, he made his mistakes, was bad in possession, didn't link up well, wasn't good at supporting Fermin. In the second half, I think that all changed. He was better defensively, cut out a few counterattacks that almost were very dangerous. So he did his job well there, and then he got an assist as well, assisting Lewandowski with some good passes. Like he linked up with some genuinely really solid crosses from that left side and offered Fermin a little bit of support on the left side. We saw a little bit of rotation there as well, but Martin looked really good. I'm going to give him a 7.5 because I think that second half was really good. He got a standing O at the end of that match too when he came out. Good for him, man. I'm happy for him to figure it out. And it was surprising to see this form from him. I didn't know he had it in him. Maybe this is what Hansi has been seeing from him on the bench, and maybe he needed a little bit of a confidence, and Hansi somehow gave it to him before this match, because I would love to see this more from him. Having that depth there at left back, like he looked genuinely okay today. And yes, Stade Brestois is not the best team in the world, but they're okay. They were like 5th in the Champions League going into this match. So it's not bad from the kid at all. And that brings me to my boys in the middle. I genuinely think Caicedo and Pedri are the craziest. I cannot fathom how good they are together. It is very impressive to me. I think Caicedo was great at locking down the middle, helping to bring the ball back and rotate and just work with Pedri. I'll give Caicedo an 8 and Pedri an 8.5. I think Pedri was ridiculous today. He was flicking the ball around their players. He was megging them left and right. He was winning the ball back as well. Pedri Gonzalez Lopez is so good at this game. Thank you for being a Barcelona player. That's all I have to say moving forward. I think he was the best player on the pitch today by a good margin. He is so good at this game. But that's not to say the attackers didn't have a substantial impact either. I think Rafinha was really good, constantly making those runs in behind. He had a pretty good chance on that free kick too. He played a pretty good game today, even though I don't think he came out with any... Yeah, he didn't come out with any goal contributions, and that's okay. I think he did play well, made a lot of runs in behind, won the ball back in dangerous positions, helped win the ball back at the end of the match for Lewandowski's second goal. And overall, yeah, played very well. I'll give him an 8 as well. And same for Dani Olmo. I'm going to cover him pretty much the same here. Good game, linked up pretty well, had a couple really good opportunities, good chances, and finally had it come through. Unfortunately, was taken off, but I think he had a good game, dribbled through some mess to score that goal. Really well done from him. I'm glad he got it because there were a few chances that he had that were cleared off the line as well. So good for him. 8 as well. Firmino was the lackluster option at the front. I don't think he was terrible. In the first half, he didn't have a ton of support from Martin, and he was finding his form and finding his footing a little bit. We've seen it in the past from him where he's a little bit of a momentum player. I think that's why he can be so threatening as a super sub, because he's got like that hunger, that animosity to fight right at the end there, to win something back for the team or create something. And when he starts, he doesn't necessarily have that. And he did get into dangerous positions as he always does. He pressed as he always does. He linked up okay as he always does. But that final ball wasn't there. And obviously his finish wasn't there as well. He had a couple chances outside the box that weren't his best finishes. And he also had that really powerful header that he made incredible contact with. It just happened to go right at the keeper's foot. Now, overall, decent game. I'll give him a 6.5. But if he can clean that up, that final product up, I think he can be really threatening. He played out as a left winger today, but it's good to see him be able to occupy a spot on the wing, because we saw him play on the right wing against Real. It looks very poor. So to see him be able to do it again is reassuring to me. But boys, we're going to have to stand up here. Clap for Robert Lewandowski. Today he became the 3rd player in football history to score 100 goals in the Champions League. Congratulations, my boy. Very happy for him. I think he put in a very good shift today, linked up really well with his team. I'll give him the man of the match over Pedri because he was very good. I'll give him a 9. Linked up well, finished his chances pretty well as well, and just he seems genuinely reborn. I know I got memes. There's an Instagram reel of me that went viral of a bad take, or me criticizing him and then having it show off how good he was. It's a fair edit. It was right. I criticized him like crazy, made a whole video talking about how he flopped and how he's finished. He's fantastic. He's an entirely different player under Hansi Flick. I'm so happy for him. I'm so happy for me, and I'm so happy for you that we get to see this guy performing this well day in and day out pretty much. And there's not much more to say on him than that. He's doing his job incredibly well. He's doing everything I could ask from him pretty much perfectly. He's linking up well, drew that penalty, finished it well, finished his chance well, collecting the balls well, linking up well. Good job, my man. Good job. And now we can calm down a little bit for the subs. I think we can get into a little bit more of a rational conversation about some of these guys. Number 1, Gavi came on for Dani Olmo in the 68th. I thought he was fine. It was a little less than impressive. He was playing the number 10, though, where we saw Dani Olmo today in that middle role, while Pedri, who I assumed was going to be pushed up, was occupying that deeper position where he was fantastic today. And I think he looked okay. I think he linked up well. And did he win the ball back a ton of times? Not necessarily. Was he very threatening? Not necessarily. Not his best performance, but again, that's okay. It's not like he was bad in any way today. It was just not remarkable. So 6.5, 6 for him, just because it wasn't remarkable. Balde, I thought he was great. I'm going to give him a 7.5 just because I thought Martin was good. The second Balde came on, I realized how much better Balde is than Martin is. Doesn't mean Martin was bad. As I said, he played really well in the second half. Balde is just that good at especially underlapping his runners or on the wing, running inside his defender. He's really, really good at that. And it's a very nice threat to have on that left side. I think if we had that in the first half, this game could have gone very different. Good game from him. Good job. And I'm excited to see him starting more matches. And I'm more comfortable with Gerard Martin, at least telling from today's experience, backing him up. Then Pablo Torre came on for Firmino in the 78th. I thought Pablo looked really good today. Torre, he's putting something together when he comes on. He's linking up well. He's getting into good positions, and he's helping to create. Yeah, good job, Pablo Torre. I'm excited to see him play. He's kind of like an underdog for all of us. And hopefully he puts it together some more and we get some minutes out of him. Frankie came on. I'm beginning to get less and less impressed with Frankie, or feel like we need him less and less as this season goes on. I think that's an interesting conversation to get into that I'm not necessarily ready to have. And it's also not really up to me or you or Barcelona. If Frankie doesn't want to re-sign a contract and he doesn't want to leave, there's nothing we can do about it. Really, he's going to stay out his contract making an insane amount of money. I think even not including his deferred wages, he is making probably like the 3rd most, 4th most in this team. And if he's on the bench, that's a lot to be playing a guy on the bench. So, we'll see how that goes this season. I just don't think he'll want to leave. His family is very settled in Barcelona. He's been here for a while. I can't really see it happening. And he's been ignoring the extension comments. And I don't know if he's going to do it. And today he wasn't great. He was fine. He just doesn't, he's not on that wavelength, man, that Casado and Pedri are. The two of them together, I don't want to change anything. They are so good. When Bernal comes back, that addition to that is going to be fantastic as well, in a way that makes me feel the necessity of Frankie is dying out, especially with the likes of Guy Fernandez now getting included in the squads. We're seeing Pablo Torre do well. For me, there's so much quality in the midfield, as well as guys coming in from La Masia eventually, that I don't know. I don't know if the necessity is Frankie there, but let me know what you think. Overall, great game. Vamos. Good win for us. Good win for you. I'm sure you're happy. If you're in the United States this week, happy Thanksgiving. I'm going to try and get a video out for you sometime in the next 5, 6 days. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, just because of the holidays and everything, but we'll see. I appreciate all of you guys, and I'm excited for the game on Saturday. We'll be live streaming that again on Big Up. Link in the description to sign up there. But yeah, I'll see all you guys later. Peace.